What is up, everyone? We are here with a new episode of The Rise and Fall of McKamey Manor. And let me tell you what. So, this episode, as you know now, is pre recorded. And we may get to some lives here and there, but as of now, we are taking the time to pre record so we can focus on the content and get it out to you. And it's almost as if the universe is aligned, as if maybe we've been one step ahead the whole time, because this episode actually plays in with the events that are taking place today. And this is why this episode is called The Rise of the Haters, because we are now in the timeline where the quote haters term is now dubbed. A while back, the truth videos were coming out, but they didn't have the name. They didn't have the official title yet.
That was 2014. The truth videos were like, here's the truth, to defend from the criticisms. And now we're at that point, 2015 going into 2016, where the haters are getting special movies just for them. Ooh. Movies. Yeah.
Isn't it weird? Like we've watched some of these older videos and the stuff said is still being said today almost verbatim. Like now I'll say this, when I was involved with the manor, the videos were too long. I never watched them until I had separated. And I wish I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
would have given you a little more insight.
Yeah.
But, that's why we're doing this series. For educational purposes, for people so that they don't have to say, I wish I would have. Breaking it all down for you. So tonight we're going to start. There's going to be a few things we're going to show. Before we get to the main feature, The Rise of the Haters, we're going to show and it's just because these are kind of important, not super important, but notable things that also happened in 2015. One of them is going to be a short interview. Somebody interviewed Russ on the Transworld floor. And we're going to listen to that first and kind of hear what he says. Then we're going to listen to, a video that Russ made for GoFundMe that same year. Yeah, a GoFundMe.
Interesting.
And what else did we have?
We have a Swedish TV show.
Yes. So this was also the year where between 2014 and 2015, a lot of these shows or segments on shows were coming out, and there's this Swedish TV show one that he included. And they have like a segment in this show about different horror places that this Swedish guy goes to all over the world. And it's a very uncomfortable situation. I can't wait for you to see it.
When you told me about it, I did go and watch part of it. But because in my head you said Swedish TV show, and all I saw was the Swedish chef from the Muppets going through like
Yeah. No, not the Swedish chef.
Wouldn't that be a great parody? Like he's going through and like animaling them, or like just the actors?
Yeah,
they're like the actors.
God, oh my God, yeah. Jim Henson Studios hit us up.
Fozzie Bear's in a gimp mask.
Oh
Waka.
So getting back to business here, we will watch that. We'll try to get through that without making too many Muppet references, and then we'll watch the feature, which is actually I don't want to give too much away, but it's not an actual tour. It's an interview with probably someone with a pretty well-known name. Actually, her name has already come up from, interestingly enough, from our last pre-recorded that we did with Mercedes. So we'll be looking at an interview with Danica, who went through as a contestant. I believe acted for a very short time. Ended up on the wrong side, right? According to Russ and Carol, and was labeled a hater. One of the people that tried to help Mercedes get her truth out, and a whole bunch of drama went down after that. So we're gonna hear the post-show exit interview that Russ does, and it's really interesting because John Schnitzer is there. It was probably one of the last times he was there filming for the movie.
Right.
So we'll get to that. So everyone hang in. It's gonna be
a bumpy ride.
Kind of a lengthy show, yeah. And we'll be down in chat talking to you. We're probably hanging out right now. I don't know.
Boston's
what am I
probably
saying?
Something
Control
about
yourself,
her.
Boston. Don't say mean things to people. All
right. All right. So this is Transworld 2015.
Haunt owners, the vendors, and lots of other people. This guy right here has been in the news over the Halloween season over the last year or two for various reasons. Met him a couple of years ago in Transworld. Had a nice little conversation. Hard to believe that, these extreme haunts out here, you hear lots of cool stuff about it, but this guy runs one in beautiful San Diego, McKamey Manor. Russ McKamey, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's great to be here.
Voice is a little weak with a lot of people around here.
Yeah.
Looks like you've been having a good time.
Voice is crazy, talking to a lot of folks and meeting all the fans, and so it's been pretty crazy this year. Crazier than ever before. So
I gotta start it off. McKamey Manor's kind of been in the news of late as far as the Halloween industry. You kind of garnered a lot of publicity, and as a, shall we say, extreme haunt, you are not only that, but you're a charity and free haunt with a 35,000 person waiting list.
Okay. So at this point in time, extreme haunt that is also charity and free. I don't.
Right.
How does
and
that?
Making the news. We have to remember at this point, Amy had already been interviewed. There's already people that have come out and talked to the local news there. So there's some outrage about this, right? Yeah. But these are the things that you hear in all these old news articles and all these old interviews, etc. is charity, free. This is the first time I heard 35,000 person waiting list.
Yeah.
But
he didn't correct them.
No, he didn't. Usually it's 27,000. So, but yeah.
Hear what Russ has to say in response to this.
If the rumors are true.
The rumors are absolutely true, and it's pretty insane. But it's not what people think. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, of course. Like everything is a big illusion, but it's absolutely a very real illusion. So when you go.
Okay, so in that sentence alone, the rumors that you hear are true, but it's not what people think. It's a big illusion, but it's absolutely a real illusion.
A very real illusion. And I wish you hadn't paused it right then, because, once we hit play, he's going to go on to say, it's basically define that it's not an illusion at all.
Okay, let's hear what he has to.
Through the hunt, you're actually going to be doing all the things that you don't want to do, but it's definitely real. Some things are like, this is fake. You go here, you go there, but it's a very real experience, and it's not for everybody. We screen, we make sure that you're medically and psychologically okay. You got to sign a 5-page waiver. You've got to have a letter from your doctor before you go in. You got to have a background check before you go in. So it's very selected, a selective process, and not everyone's going to make it for sure.
Well,
okay, so this clip has been on for about 20 seconds. He has contradicted himself 3 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like, and then the last thing he says here, I feel like this is when he starts kind of making it like a braggy thing that you have to sign the waiver and get a doctor's note and background check and all these things. And I feel like, so this time in the MM history universe, They were probably starting to get a little scared about legal stuff, right? Because they
Right.
were getting more eyes and people that did not like what they were doing. So they're trying to cover their bases, but I also feel like it was him trying to make this like such a hard to obtain, unique thing.
That's what I was going to say. In my opinion, what is happening here is he's trying to make it like that prize, even to get selected, that unobtainable,
so exclusive, right?
Yep.
Like you have to do all this stuff just to come, just to get there, and
not everybody. 35,000 people want to get in, but I'm going to choose you.
Right? Yeah.
It gives you a reason, in my opinion, to think that maybe that's why you don't talk after. One of the reasons why you don't speak out after, because you should feel special,
right? Yeah.
According to the internet rumors, and we all know the internet's nothing but absolutely true, no one has ever quite made it this experience.
That's a fact. If you actually did the entire experience is 8 hours, and nobody has even come close. About 4 hours was the closest, but the body and mind will break eventually. And keep in mind that there is no quitting in McKamey Manor. So, and you're signing on for that. Everybody that comes here knows what they're getting into. They're warned, they're screened, and so they know exactly what's going to happen, and that's the process.
Have you ever made it through?
I'm going to rewind that just a few seconds, so we also get that next question. But in San Diego, right, consent laws are different from what's in Tennessee. So they did get away with that no quitting. Now, I believe there is stipulations on what you're consenting to do. Don't get me wrong. I think you can.
Said, that's a whole federal human rights, like.
Yeah, we can dive deeper into it, but surface level. Let's say I went through in San Diego and something happened to me, and I went to the cops and didn't go into full details on what happened. I said I signed up willingly to do this, and I told them to stop, and they went stop. And the cops are like, so they ended up stopping, just not when you didn't want to. And they're like, yeah. They're like, we can't do nothing for you. You know? Now, yes, if you got a lawyer and you looked into it and broke it down, there's other things. I mean, let's look at Mercedes, right?
Right.
14-year-old that went through. If you saw our interview,
signed a waiver without a parent
she told us how she signed a waiver and no guardian was present and went through it. Now, to me, I think that's a case.
Yeah, I don't know all the state by state legal in and outs of consent. I don't think that states think to actually make laws regarding consenting to simulated and or actual torture.
It falls under,
you know what I mean?
It falls under other categories.
Right. It's something to definitely dive in. All I know is that when he eventually moves to Tennessee, he is made very aware that he needs to have a safe word because of the law, right? All right.
So.
That's the process.
Have you ever made it through?
I would never do it. Of course not. Do I look stupid? Not saying that people are stupid, but they're braver than I am. I am not a brave person. Everything that I built within the 5 sections, 5 locations, are all based around my fears. So
5 locations.
Okay. So I thought maybe my headphones glitched up. Okay. So we're at 5 locations now, right now. I have a hard time with people who run experiences, especially the owners. Now, the actors need to go through these. They need to learn how it feels, what the audience is going to go through as well. Now, the actors who are acting did take tours, right? But we can't say that because we've only seen what we've seen. We don't know if they've done everything. And it seems like these tours are kind of flying by the seat of your pants, right?
Yeah.
You kind of just go to room to whatever.
Right. I mean, we did see, I don't know which year that was from the screenshots, but the Facebook group with the actors, there was somebody who put together like a grid with like a plan.
Yes.
Of like what rooms to take them and who's going to be in what room.
Mm-hmm.
It was not very detailed.
It was not detailed, and it was only once.
And that was once that we saw that. Let's be fair. That it was once that it was shared.
Was posted in the group.
Who knows? Maybe there's like a written up thing that the actors got, every day. Like, this is what you do. But yeah, to say that there are 5 locations, this is when we're starting to hear his brain changing. In my opinion, this year is very important, and we'll hear that soon in the GoFundMe. But this is the year that he is first trying to leave the state. This is the year that he is trying to look for locations in different states that are going to be more accepting of what he does, right? So he starts getting creative with what he has, because he knows that he's going to have to take, I think at this point he's taken down a lot of the haunt stuff because he was going to go to the ranch and then he couldn't and came back. That was in 2013. Now we're in 2015. And he's struggling because he's still blowing up. He's still getting big, but he doesn't have, he needs more. So we start hearing things like all these different locations. Remember, wasn't there a story where he tried to convince somebody he took them to Mexico? And the warehouse comes into play.
That
the
is
van days.
Yeah, that is a story though that is just, but it's not like public, I don't believe.
Okay.
That was just a story passed down that I heard from him.
Okay.
But yeah, it was because they were right by the border and they had the person thinking that they were going to go there.
Mm-hmm. Well, because shortly after this is when the van days really pick up. And so there's all these different locations. Well, we all know the locations are simply being inside of the van and being in the garage or a part of his property, right? Or
for a while.
Or at a park somewhere.
Eventually that ends.
And exactly. So we're right at the beginning. In my opinion, this interview is his brain starting to like, what else can I say and add? And so the 5 locations, all based on my fears. Right. He's a good salesperson. I'll give him that.
Yeah, let's keep watching this.
So I was thinking, well, if I'm scared of them, maybe other people are too. And it works out that way that they are. But
why do you think this year you've garnered so much controversy? I mean, national publications were talking about this is torture and this is nothing more than glorified, volunteer pain giving and disgust and humiliation, and it's horrible and terrible, and it's not a black eye in the industry. We've all gone through those things before, but why do you think you've been singled out somewhat in this?
Well, I'm also a filmmaker, an amateur filmmaker, and that's what I do. My thing is I'm looking to get those magic moments, which there are a lot of, and folks go through the hunt. So I make movies. The movies are what kind of caught the eye. Those things went viral, and the rest is history. But to be clear, we're not a torture hunt at all. People make up in their mind all the missing ingredients that they don't see. They only see what I want them to see, and if they actually saw it all, and if you go through it, then you know the real deal. And the folks that go through it, they're our biggest fans. I mean, they're the ones, and that's why no one talks about it. That's why you don't hear people spilling the beans on what's really happening, because they're proud to be part of it. But we're not torture. It's a very PG-13 event. There's no sexual innuendos, no sexual content. We're not like a blackout on Gates of Hell. There's no cussing. You can't even cuss inside the hunt. So
I will come back to it. Remember, 613. And before we talk about it, we just heard that, and it's nothing. Like, he basically said it's nothing, right?
this experience.
That's a fact. If you actually did the entire experience is 8 hours, and nobody has even come close. About 4 hours is the closest, but the body and mind will break eventually. Keep in mind that there is no...
That line, the body and mind will break eventually.
Right. But at 6:13, he is telling a completely different story.
It's not a torture hunt.
Right. Then why is your body...
Hunt. We're PG-13. He literally tells on himself, in my opinion, by saying, you know, he's like, well, no one's ever made it. He goes, well, yeah, no one's ever made it the full 8 hours because your body and mind will break eventually. He is saying we break people.
Yeah. And then goes on to say later that nothing is happening. There is no... people aren't getting hurt.
Right. There's no torture. This is PG-13.
Then why is your body
no
breaking?
Sexual stuff, no cussing. That's always the defense. Always. And we've heard it before, and we're going to hear it again as we go through these years. No cussing, no sexual stuff, PG-13.
Yeah.
That makes it a good... Like, I'm picturing Disney World, man. You know, like...
Well, I mean, here he goes.
When I hear that...
Big bad Indiana Jones is what he's about.
Indiana Jones on steroids adventure. But you have to be very physically...
Indiana Jones adventure.
Crazy things going on.
And I'm picturing Ryan Lawrence and Steve Pure choking, you know, their hands around somebody's neck, being slammed into a wall, being spit on. This is an Indiana Jones adventure, right?
I didn't see that on the director's cut of Indiana Jones.
No.
The only thing that's similar is they had a snake, and in Indiana Jones there was some snakes.
Right. There's no... if he wanted Indiana Jones, he could have gotten really creative and done puzzles and like kind of escape room type stuff and
kind of like a
incorporated
story.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like an actual extreme haunt.
Yeah. So is that it for this interview? We're going
essentially, it goes about 10 minutes, and then it goes into more. But I just thought that was a good refresher for us to check in with what he is telling people that are interviewing him from year to year. So we're basically at the same. But as you can tell by the way the reporter asked those questions, there's a lot of controversy right now in 2015. That he's dealing with. Hence, in my opinion, the GoFundMe, the trying to move, the haters movie that we're going to see.
We're starting to get all of that at this point. So I'll stop this partway through, but we're going to watch it in its entirety.
Okay.
This is a GoFundMe that started. Now, at this point, Russ is not charging for... mission. He's charging with dog food, right? But not cash. And he's been saying, you know, this is a donation. Now, I don't know the exact year, but we're right around. It may be shortly after this GoFundMe happens. But there's a Gold Star program that then starts. And this Gold Star program is told that if you pay a certain amount of money, it skips you through the waiting list to be the next to come in. Now, how messed up is that to then later find out that there is no waiting list?
Yeah. I know. I'm going to search while we listen to this. I'm going to search something because I want to find... Because remember the last episode we did, we talked briefly about the fact that he had made an announcement that he is going to start charging people, and it's going to be a lot of money, and he never said how much money, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to be exclusive. He has no choice but to do that, and I just want to see the date compared to when he does this GoFundMe, so I'll look that up.
The following has been approved to scare the hell.
This is 9 minutes long. We're 2 minutes in, and why does he do this?
Hey everybody, this is Russ coming at.
Okay, I need to stop and point out right away. Guy's a wedding singer. He is obviously on a job right now. He's not sporting the shirt, so he's got the collared shirt on. So this is business guy here, right? In a person's wedding, and saying
It appears to be. It appears.
Oh.
I think he says where he's located.
Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot to do the GoFundMe. I got to do that right now. Couldn't wait an hour.
At you. Well, not from McKamey Manor this time, but from Hazy Meadow Ranch. This is the place that we were going to do the haunt a couple years ago until the city shut us down. All right.
So, benefit of the doubt, he was visiting the ranch because
he's friends with them.
and they're just
We'll give him that. But
We'll
it
give
is
him the
ironic
benefit of the doubt.
that
But
he's a wedding singer and it's set up clearly for a wedding.
I think we know what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, this is going to be a little different type of message for all you guys. This is for all the fans of McKamey Manor, and I'm here to ask for your help. I actually need your help to keep the doors open of McKamey Manor. So here's the situation. You guys have known that for all these years of us doing the haunt, we've never charged a single penny, and we've done that just to keep things going because we love it and keep it open for the fans. But it's become so big and so expensive to run, especially with things like the specialty insurance, which costs thousands of dollars.
I would love to see proof of the specialty insurance, right?
Yeah.
Because right now you're about to hit up people for the expenses that it cost for it, when I personally think there is no insurance.
There's just no way in the world that we can keep the doors open all on our own. We don't charge anything. We don't make any money on the haunt. Never have, and never will unless we leave California.
Unless we leave California, meaning there's always an option.
It is a very unuser-friendly state for things like haunted houses and other businesses as well. But in particular, something like what we do in Extreme Haunt, it's just not going to work out here, at least not to where we can make money. I'm not ready to move, and I don't really want to move yet anyways. It's going to take a whole huge endeavor to try to get that pulled off as well. If we're going to move this gigantic 5-location city to another state, it's going to be tough, especially if it's just the two of us.
5-location city.
Yeah, this gigantic 5-location city.
We're moving cities, folks.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the warehouse that you drive to, or like the parking lot behind Target? What was that?
Let's just hit up the word vomit. Like, you're just throwing out words. Like, you're talking about all different locations, and it's like, it's as big as a city. So you say 5 locations. That's not even a thing.
So we're going to hang around a while longer, but we're going to need some help. So we're going to start a GoFundMe fund. Never done that before, but we're going to see if maybe some of you folks out there, the fans of McKamey Manor, want to help out with the cost of operating such an enormous project as McKamey Manor. Again, just the insurance alone is several $1,000s a year. It's crazy because obviously we're not your normal kind of haunt. And that doesn't even...
I thought he gave an exact value just before.
Here's the thing we need to research, right? It was 2014.
Okay.
It was 2014 when he started the new reservations group.
Yes.
And made the announcement that I'm making this group because we have to start charging money for the haunt.
Okay.
But now he has a GoFundMe saying, as you know, we've never charged money for the haunt.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Can you see the posted date of this video? I'm sure I wouldn't have sent it.
I probably can, not on this screen though, and we'll
right.
share my screen right now.
Okay.
Start up all the customized special effects and all the cool props that only we have here because we're doing things that nobody else is doing. There's a lot of copycats out there, and you know who you are, but no one's going to do what McKamey Manor does. But I'm more concerned with just making enough money to keep the doors open, which means helping out with this. Again, I'm going back to this crazy insurance price, because it is. If you saw the price tag, you would flip your board. It's crazy. But so anything will help out. And I can't promise you anything if you do gift us some money to keep the doors open, but I can promise you I'll remember who you are. And as you all know, this is a very selective haunt experience.
I'll remember who you are.
And as you know, it's a very selective experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can't promise you anything. Like, let's be vague without being vague. Like, what you're saying here is, if you donate money, I'll get you in.
Mm-hmm.
And only a few people are going to get in per year. And so, you know, enough said. I can't promise anything. Everybody that comes to the haunt still has to meet all of the requirements. I don't care if you gave $10,000. If a person didn't meet the requirements to get in, I can't let you come to the haunt.
In his head, in his world, did he think there was somebody out there that would give him $10,000?
Because safety is paramount.
I think so. Actually.
So a quickie on the requirements. I think most of you know this. You got to be 21 or above. You got to be in great health, which means I need a letter from your doctor, physical and your psych doctor. And the letter has to state that they actually watched the 2012 promo video. So that way they have a good idea of what to expect inside the haunt.
Could you imagine? Hey, Doc, things are going to get weird. I need you to watch a video. Here, let me play it. This is a video of a thing I want to go and do, and I need you to just say that I'm okay to go and do this. You're getting checked in somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this GoFundMe was, this video at least was posted June 15th of 2015. So it was definitely after, and again, we don't have, that's something I'd like to research, like, was anyone actually charged money? Because in 2014, he made that new group and said, we're going to start charging money.
So the Gold Star group, I don't know if because I know two people that paid.
Yeah.
For the Gold Star, right? And I believe, though, that they paid in late 2015.
Interesting. Okay.
So I believe it's after this.
There is another, and I didn't include it because it's like the same thing basically. But he does have another GoFundMe updates. It was uploaded June 26th of 2015. And I'll read the description real quick. It just says, as a lot of you know, I lost my job a few days ago. Life happens. And now we have
his own boss.
I don't know what he was back then. We know about the wedding singing. We don't know.
That was the military stuff still, I think.
Okay. And now we have to move quickly. The cost of moving MM and the house. The cost of moving MM and the house across the country is more than we have. Okay, I'm going to say the stuff inside the house. The GoFundMe McKamey Manor project is still underway, but it's now going to the actual move. So at first, in this video we're watching right now, he is telling people he needs money for insurance. Okay? And now he's saying, we're keeping this, but the money's going to go to the actual move because we're moving. Those who donate will receive a very special VIP experience at the new location. Thank you for your help and continued support. I wonder if anyone received a VIP experience at a new location.
So, but if people donated to that second GoFundMe, then that means that people
it was the same GoFundMe.
Okay, well, same GoFundMe, but now let's give them the benefit of the doubt. After that date that one came up, anybody that paid in that paid for a VIP tour.
Yeah, he said
and
anyone.
That's where I think
Those who
people-
donate will
Right.
receive a very special VIP experience at the
And-
new location. Thank you for your help and continued support.
That's where I think the two that I was originally talking about that I know paid him were in at that point in time because they were promised.
So did he refund these people?
No.
Interesting.
So a letter from the docs. You got to have a background check, which we'll supply. And in general, just you got to be screened by us, of course, numerous times, because you will know before going in everything that's going to happen. There's not going to be any surprises in the sense that you're going to be like shocked that we're going to be cutting your hair. Everyone knows if you come here, if you get selected, it's, for that particular zone, that you may lose your hair. So we all know that. And before you come to the haunt, you're going to know that as well. So there's not going to be any whining and crying that, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen and this was going to take place. Of course you did, because we're going to go over it 1,000 times. And you're going to sign a nice long waiver that explains everything that we're going to do. So, we know what's going on, you know what's going on, and we just want to make sure that it's a good, positive experience. We don't want somebody coming here who's not mentally or psychologically up to McKamey Manor. We don't want anyone getting hurt, right? So it just makes sense.
That didn't even make sense.
No, but that he's word vomiting these things because at this time he has had many people go through and then complain afterwards. Go through and be like, "Oh my God, I got my hair cut." Or so he's saying all this to, in his mind, be like, "And y'all signed a waiver, and we told y'all what was going to happen, so like you can't get upset when we."
But time out. What he just said was he doesn't want people that are physically and mentally capable of doing the manor.
That aren't physically and mentally capable of doing the manor.
Listen how he words it.
Okay.
I know that's what he wants to say. Right. I get that.
Well, I think he's saying it because he's had people complaining, and so his instant thing is if someone goes through and they don't have a good experience is you weren't physically and mentally capable.
Or is this a slip of the tongue?
Okay, I'll listen.
Want somebody coming here who's not mentally or psychologically up to McKamey Manor. We don't want anyone getting experience. We don't want somebody coming here who's not mentally. It's a long waiver that explains everything that we're going to do. So,
you hearing things?
We know what's going on. You know what's going on. And we just want to make sure that it's a good, positive experience. We don't want somebody coming here who's not mentally or psychologically up to McKamey Manor. We don't want anyone getting hurt, right? So it just makes sense.
That's what threw me off. Was
so
up to
that's kind of the basic requirements. And of course, if you want the full tour, a passport is recommended, not required. But
if you want the full tour,
maybe go to another location. That might be a lot of fun.
So this is him insinuating Mexico.
Fun, depending upon how you look at it.
100%.
So those are the basic stats and requirements.
Can you pause? Can you imagine? If he actually did that? Okay, so you bring your passport, you get blindfolded, gagged, bound, and put in a trunk.
Right.
Or the back of this van, right? And then Russ or his actors get to the border and they're like showing their passports. They're like, "Oh, and then here's the passport for this guy. We're doing a show. Don't worry." Right. Don't worry. We've got his passport. He's cool. He's good.
Well, I mean, we all know that he was never taking anybody over the border, right?
Yes.
But that is just one of those
many lies to make it sound grandiose. It's like the underwater tunnels.
Right.
Back to the GoFundMe. Feel kind of funny asking you guys about this, but unfortunately, this is what it's going to take to keep the doors open. And again, I can't promise anything to anybody. It's just something that if you want to help us out, fantastic. And again, I'm going to know who has helped out. And, we're going to be selective on who comes through the haunt, as always. There's no conga line here. We all know that. It takes 8 hours to get through. When a person is selected, you're selected for the entire day. This is your day. So those two folks have up to 8 hours to enjoy the facilities at McKamey Manor. How fun. All right. So I guess that
The facilities at my cantina.
Yeah, I know. I've been noticing some of the captions. I'm like,
that's my little speech. And I hope it works because I really want to keep the haunt going. I don't want to move out of state. And unfortunately, that's what it's going to take to charge admission. And we're not allowed to charge admission here in California doing what we do. And that's never going to change. So either we're moving or hopefully something like the GoFundMe will help keep the doors open and help pay for some of the crazy costs of running McKamey Manor.
Can you?
Yeah.
So that's it.
That just said it all. Unfortunately, as you know, we're not allowed to charge in the state of California for what we do.
Right.
And how we do it. So I'm doing this GoFundMe, guys, because we need money.
Yeah.
We already have this new reservations group and people signing up for a VIP experience, etc. This is all happening. And he's admitting that this is all because he's not allowed to charge. But I thought it was a charity. I thought you're just a good guy who does this for the love of the haunt.
Right.
Free. Dog food only.
Yeah.
Not allowed to charge. I just want to make sure that everyone hears that.
That's a good point. And these captions, man.
I know.
The cost of running the Candy Man.
I appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. And we'll see you here at the haunt. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ay, ay, ay. This guy.
Yeah. All right, so now we get the Swedish chef.
Hurty burty, hurty burty.
Do you have the timestamp that I gave you?
I'm looking at it right now. We're gonna start it at 23 minutes in.
Yeah, it's not till the end. So everyone, this is a segment of a Swedish TV show, and it's the part where they feature McKamey Manor, and there are some of the stuff I believe is said in a different language, but there are subtitles.
Hurty burty. I can translate Swedish.
But it's there's some very uncomfortable moments watching this.
Yeah. It is. It really is. All right. So 23 minutes.
Yeah. Right
here,
where he's
right?
driving. On the highway.
We're gonna make it on time.
Det de sysslar med i Philadelphia.
So this isn't Russ's show. I mean, they're going to Russ's, right? They're going to the manor, but what we're watching is the Swedish TV show, not one of Russ's movies.
No, correct.
Okay.
Och Eastern State Penitentiary är naturligtvis otroligt genomarbetat, påkostat och skrämmande.
So he had just been to a place in Philadelphia.
De har gått längre.
I'm sorry, what?
So what he's saying is he had just been to a place in Philadelphia, right? That was great. But there are those who went further, much further. And we're going into McKamey Manor.
What year is this? This is 2015?
2015. So I don't know if maybe it was filmed in because Russ doesn't upload this until 2015.
Right. I'm just wondering, Philadelphia, Blackout was New York. I'm wondering if the basement was
well, I mean, you can watch the whole episode if you want. He just came from there.
No, that would
but we're not going
to would have to watch the episode.
Right.
Mycket längre. Nu är vi i San Diego, Kalifornien och ska besöka någonting som heter McKamey Manor.
McKamey Manor.
So, translation.
Först och främst ska jag varna för några av de bilder vi kommer att visa i det här reportaget.
Ja.
Vi får nu inte åka till självaste McKamey Manor eftersom huset är en väl bevarad hemlighet.
Can you pause real quick?
Vi träffar istället...
What the fuck?
What?
We're not allowed to visit the actual location of McKamey Manor because the location is kept very well secret.
That's what he was told.
So Russ was like, you can't come to my house for some reason. Come film, but you can't come to my house for some reason.
Well, he can't, right? When Dark Tourist happened. They let him film in the trailer, but when the show started, the film crews had to stay back, and Russ gave them the footage.
Why?
John Snitz, because then you know the manor doesn't exist.
If you see, yeah, okay. So Russ isn't gonna let these people come to his house,
Right?
Then they'll see it's just a house with a bunch of walls in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, got it. It's just everyone read these subtitles.
Yeah, I got it muted so we don't have to hear hurdy-burdy.
No, don't mute it.
Hurdy-burdy-murty-hurdy-burdy.
Samlingsplatsen för de som ska delta.
They come here by themselves. They're told to find this sign, go down in the little gully right here, and face the brush and do not talk to each other. Don't communicate. Don't be smart enough, and be ready for this to happen. You got one actor who can demonstrate. Okay, he knows what to do.
You better listen. You understand me? Top like a bunny. Yeah.
Hui. This guy's too old to be doing this.
There is no other place in the world that you're going to live an 8-hour personalized horror movie between you and all these actors. We have 28 actors that you'll be dealing with at 4 different locations.
False advertising much?
I mean, we're in the actors group, and I know some people left.
They don't have 28 actors.
No, okay. I'm just double checking.
There was never 28 actors.
Okay, just checking.
No, maybe at the most, at like one time, I think we've got to like a count of 10.
I mean, because even
12.
when it was the Boo Hunt and we talked to the people that work there, they
There's
even
like 9.
said, they worked multiple.
28 actors in 4 different locations.
Wait, but what year was this video? You said it was possibly filmed in 2014, so
possibly,
the 5th location was added later that we just heard about?
I guess, yeah, there's a 5th location.
But yeah, in a couple words, it's living your own horror movie. Where else can you do that? Because any place else that attempts that, it's not going to feel real because it's not real. This is real.
And that's the whole point. That's what we're seeing, people, is it's smoke and mirrors, it's an illusion. But then he says over and over again, the thing that makes this so scary is that it's real. Yes, you really hit people. People are really actually hit. People are really held underwater. People are really chained up, choked, etc., etc., etc. Really, these things are happening to you. He admits it is not simulated over and over again.
Yeah.
Deltagarna hålls hela tiden kalla och blöta. Ofta får de låtsasblod på sig. Och så ögonbindel, gaffatejp. Sen används apparater av olika slag. Tortyrsimulatorer, matrester, småkryp. Allt för att man ska förlora kontrollen över sig själv helt.
This is all before it turned into the extreme hunt.
Right.
Because you're seeing more than 2 people in there at once.
Hittills har ingen klarat sig igenom de 8 timmarna.
2 or 3, sorry.
There's no safe word. You don't tell us. There's no safe word.
That's scary.
The only way to get out of this thing is by physically or mentally breaking. And then I have to be there going, okay, they've had enough. Pull the plug. That's it. That's it. They can't do anymore.
And Russ gets to
It's
decide
really too much.
once a person is physically and mentally
like
broken.
I tell everyone, you don't want to do it. I mean, I say that, it's not the tagline, but you really don't want to do this.
I can understand.
So why do you do this?
Right. If you are have to tell people they really don't want to do this,
right,
then why do you want to do this to them?
If it's not a tagline, which you just stated, it's not a tagline. You just really...
Yet you use it as a tagline.
Right.
It's so much hypocrisy and contradiction.
Yeah, it almost makes it really confusing for somebody who's signing the contract to know what's real and what isn't, when every conversation and interview that you may see of him prior contradicts itself from one sentence to the next.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, if they're rejected.
Medan jag och Russ står och har ett, vad jag tror, trevligt samtal, så smyger sig en av hans så kallade skådespelare upp bakom mig utan att jag har något.
This is so this is the awkward moment. Everyone buckle up.
These captions off because when he's talking,
Why?
it said the catacombs are so smelly.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
These captions are from the Swedish
I know,
TV show.
I had captions auto-generated going for the English
as
part.
well.
And the auto-generated ones were just saying things like, these catacombs are so smelly. Okay. All right.
I could do that. I could.
Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing. Do it.
Really?
Yeah, do it.
Really? Russ goes, yeah, do it.
Funny? Is this funny? Is this funny? Answer me.
Okay, that's good.
Wow.
Om jag haft svårt att förstå skillnaden mellan det som sker i Philadelphia och här i San Diego är det efter den här uppvisningen glasklart.
Now he was going easy and light. This is Andrew. This is one of our smaller guys.
Yeah.
You can take it off now.
Andrew.
And so now he's also been through the haunt. Again, everybody has to go through it to be an actor.
Except for the owner.
Right. What I got from that was extremely uncomfortable. He laughs, but it felt very like that's great. That's great. He asked first, he already has his hands ready to go and do the fishhook thing behind him. And Russ goes, do it. And Andrew goes, really? And Russ was like, yeah, really do it. And then boom, onto the ground. You can tell there was still a level of more gentleness, but he was shoving that guy's face into the pavement and head, and like his thumbs were under his, like making his total invasion of physical. And did that guy sign a waiver? Did he consent to that?
I don't think so.
I don't think he was expecting it at all, as he said in the captions. And then it happened, and then he was like, oh, well, I've got to do my job and report on what just happened. Very uncomfortable.
That's one hell of a reporter job.
Right. Well, he's been going around to different haunted houses all over the place, and then he comes here because it's supposed to be the most extreme. He can't see it, right? He's not allowed to show it. He goes up to a park with a bunch of people with fake blood and stuff on them in the middle of the day, and then his quote-unquote experience is that an actor just stands behind him, and Russ is like, do it.
Do it, Andrew.
But could you see that Andrew was not going to stop until Russ said stop? That's something I think that is very important to kind of think about when they're all in there together. And then Russ always says, nothing bad can happen because I'm there. Every step of the way. I know when too much is too much. I can gauge that, right? Seems to me that the actors wait and just listen for instructions.
Do this on the other end.
När Andrew Sweeney gick igenom The Manor klarade han sig i 4 timmar, vilket är extremt länge. Det känns lite larvigt att prata om mardrömsupplevelser eller skräckupplevelser, ord som brukar användas kring spökhus på nöjesfält, för det här är på en annan nivå. Ändå står 27 000 människor i kö för...
There's the 27,000. Why does it never change? Like, why is it never 27,305 or like 28,000?
Half an hour ago in our live, it was 35,000.
I know, but 27's like the one that all said the most. It's just bizarre.
För att komma med.
Smile. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. The big smile. Open your eyes. Your eyes, teddy bear. There you go.
But is what you're doing responsible?
Absolutely, because it's still entertainment. So, and that's where a lot of the haters think that we're doing something that is irresponsible. But if you saw behind the magic of it, you'd know that it's A-okay. It's super safe in the sense that It's very well controlled. You got to figure we've been doing this for 14 years and nobody has gotten hurt. So that's a good track record.
Sure about that? Are you sure about that? Okay, we haven't gotten to Lori B yet. Okay,
that's what about freaking Steve Pure? Literally almost dying. We talked to Mercedes. Yeah. That was 2014.
Yeah. True. Mercedes.
Yeah.
And we take care of them off camera that you don't see. Obviously, I don't show us pampering them and feeding them and giving them liquids and having medical care to them. That's not an exciting movie.
Didn't Mercedes say that she was the only medical staff and she was 14 and certified as a lifeguard?
Yes.
Okay.
The exciting movie is seeing someone break down until they're a puddle of goo. That's exciting.
That's exciting. Seeing someone break down until they're a puddle of goo. Russ tells us exactly how he feels, exactly the purpose. The purpose of this is it's entertainment. Entertainment for whom? For Russ. Because it's exciting to watch somebody break down into a puddle of goo. Mm-hmm. This is what we're hearing.
I'm taking you out, Jill. I'm taking you out. You can't do this. Slow down, slow down. Relax. 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 Jill, relax. Hold on. She's got it. Just take a breath. Relax.
Do you think we actually torture people back there?
You feel like you're being tortured, but not for real.
I'll say this. I've done a lot of research on psychological torture. Mm-hmm. So I utilize some. Right.
Yeah. Did you just hear that?
I heard I do a lot of research on psychological torture and I utilize that. Mm-hmm. To me, that's admitting to torturing. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So, Chuck, that was just for anybody watching, stated in the video from the actors, not us. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's still laughing. He's still laughing about it.
Torture.
Look at her. Look at her. She's like, did you just say it out loud?
Yeah.
Did you just say it out loud?
Even the one on the other side's like,
the camera's on.
Right.
Things.
We do. We gotta tell you a little
I want to
story.
just fuck your mind up while you're in there. I only have 8 hours to make you feel like you've been captured for 5 years.
Yep.
That's torture. Now, I will say that we know of other extreme haunts, immersive experiences out there where they do utilize some techniques that will make you feel like you've been there much longer than you have, right? But to say, I research a lot of psychological torture and I utilize it, and I only have 8 hours to make someone feel like they've been there for 5 years.
Yeah, hold on one sec, because I want to.
That's a little different.
On that.
Okay, I figured you might. That's a little different.
So,
like that's crossing the
these
boundary.
other haunts, right?
Yeah.
Mind games. Mind games done in haunts, that's part of the smoke and mirrors, right?
But mind games isn't psychological torture.
No, it's not. And so, like, you know, I'm one of the few when I tell the story about Crucible saying that I felt like I was there for a long time. I say that because that was my story, right? They wrote an original story for me. And in it, time passed. I had letters sent to me throughout the night that showed the difference of time. So when I tell my story, you know, I say, felt like I was there for years. Yeah, because I was immersed in the story. It felt like, did I know when the thing ended? Did I have to be like, what year is it? And like shake somebody? No, no, I didn't. It wasn't like fucking Ebenezer Scrooge running down the streets there, finding out I got all my time back, right?
Yeah.
It was.
There's a difference. I mean, we have seen them talking, posting articles about Guantanamo Bay torture and saying we're better than these guys.
We're better than them.
We do it better than they do it at Guantanamo Bay and bragging about it. There's a difference between being a creative person and being a person who gets off on wanting to hurt people and break them.
Yeah. All right.
Frågan är nu hur länge McKamey Manor kommer att få finnas kvar. I 12 år höll de på som en underjordisk rörelse, men de 2 senaste åren har de kommit till allmän kännedom och därmed fått flera som vill delta, men också massiv kritik, bombhot, dödshot och kommunen vill stänga ner hela stället.
I want to learn Swedish now. I like it.
Does the haunt and the way that it's made up and what happens in there, does it say anything about the state of things in the world?
Sure. You know what it says that people want this extreme experience. They have such really good attitudes. They're super positive. They're so stoked. They're just really exciting, fun people. Albeit they're a different kind of crowd. They are that extreme crowd.
We did not answer the question at all.
Question that with an answer that you can realize the person didn't understand the question.
Right.
Somebody didn't show up for the question.
Yeah. Keep playing, because I feel like I remember the screen went blank and then something else. I could be wrong. And I remember thinking, why is the screen blank right now? Did they have to remove something? It keeps going, though.
This is how the Swedish do commercials.
Yeah. Here we go. Look at this shot
Det var
of...
så otroligt intensivt det här så att det tar nog ett tag för mig att riktigt smälta vad det är jag varit med om. Men man kan i alla fall säga att vi lever i en tid full av naturkatastrofer, miljökatastrofer, krig, konflikter. Och ändå tycks det hela tiden finnas tillräckligt med energi för att komma på nya metoder för att skrämma skiten ur oss. Kanske är det för att det är så många katastrofer runt om världen.
That Russ couldn't give.
Eller så är det som skräckfilmsgurun Wes Craven har sagt, att var tid får den skräckkultur som den förtjänar.
Satan is real.
Okay.
Swedish TV for you folks.
Satan is real. Yeah. So I just thought that was a good, interesting share.
Mm-hmm. We also saw Danica, who we're about to see again here in this haters video.
She was in that last video?
I could have sworn she was.
Oh.
I thought they even said her name.
I did not notice her. Yeah, so again, her name will probably come up again in this series at some point. I personally would love to speak with her. I know a lot of people from this world have really tried to move on in their lives, and so it's been difficult for us to get some people to come speak with us on this. Like, they've moved on, especially those that were really heavily involved in the drama side of it, the Facebook fighting side of it. And that's kind of essentially how she became labeled a hater by Russ and Carol, was she was giving away secrets and saying things that weren't okay. You know, she wasn't putting up with bullshit. They labeled her a hater, and then he puts out this movie just for her. His face, I know. We should have given a trigger warning. Okay, can you play it?
Okay.
Okay, McKamey Manor presents
Quit laughing. We're getting serious now.
The movie, yes.
I need a haircut, but bad.
The following has been approved.
He's still talking about that fucking haircut.
He always needs a haircut.
Hey everybody, this is Russ coming at you right here from the Halloween room. This is where I edit all those scary, crazy movies.
Oh,
wouldn't that be the
wants to get
editing room?
everyone all riled up. Hey, this is a special movie
It's just a part
dedicated
of his
to
house.
my lovely haters, and you all know who you are. And there's just a handful of the really crazy ones, but I just want you guys to understand, and maybe you'll see
all things that are being said now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a handful. Just a handful. Everybody else likes me.
Mm-hmm.
that all you other so-called haters, the ones that are on the fence, are believing everything. You're all being duped by these particular individuals. And this is just one.
So there's been several generations of haters, right? Like
Yeah.
errors where there was this set and then they faded away and then a new group came out. They tried to expose, they faded away. We're probably like the fourth generation, right? To be speaking out. But isn't that weird that this fucking freeze frame? Oh, dude, let me tell you for last night.
Stop.
So, oh man,
I can't look at it.
So, yeah, I gotta put this down for a second.
Yeah. We also can't pause like every 2 seconds.
Well,
because he's gonna keep.
But this is important. But this is important stuff because what I'm saying is we're not doing anything different.
No.
Right? So how is it what we are saying now is different and damaging when it's been said 4 times prior to us?
Well, more than 4 times. You just kind of made up the 4 generations.
Well,
thing,
yeah. But I'm just saying all the different stages of these hate videos and big groups and big movements to shut them down, because we're not the only ones saying this. Just it fell on deaf ears before, and now it hasn't.
Anyone who speaks, their stories, gives their opinions, speaks the truth. I mean, he doesn't like that and goes after him.
One example, but I can make the same point on every single one of them. So let's take Danica, for example.
Don't speak out against
Danica
me.
is one that's been raising all kinds of hate and discontent for a long time, ever since she got fired as an actor from McKamey Manor. Yes, that's right. She was an actor for a night.
Fired from...
Well, there's Miss Danica right there, right in the middle of the mean, awful McKamey Manor. And what is she doing? Oh, she's an actor. She begged and begged and begged some more after her tour was over to become part of our little family.
I know, don't pause all the time, but maybe... just maybe, this is a thought in the head because I'm kind of relating this story to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she saw the truth and then decided that this and spoke out, right? Just maybe the same story happened with me.
And a lot of people said, don't do it, Russ, leave her out. But me being as naive and as trusting as I am, I said, it'll be okay. And look how that worked out. Oh my, it's just been so wonderful. So here's a couple more photos of little Miss Danica.
Wow, making fun
I think she
of her.
is beautiful, by the way. And in the actors' Facebook group, they have photos making fun of her.
I fired her the next day because of some really crappy comments she made about my house and about how she wouldn't help one of our special need dogs when she was lying on the ground and needed assistance of getting up. She just poo-pooed it and walked on over, and we brought that to her attention, and whatever. And the fact that literally half the night, all she did was eat. She ate so much food
fat shaming.
that there was no reason for her to be here.
All she did was eat, and she didn't help one of their special needs dogs go potty.
That's when all
so they had to fire her.
The row started. That's when she
her
started
responsibility and
making
not
all her
Russ and
comments
Carol's?
and claims about how horrible everything was. And you all know the drill. So I normally wouldn't even make a fuss about this myself because I find it entertaining. Because again, I have so much in the way of evidence to support what I say, not just about Danica, but everybody. But I decided to make a little movie starring our nice friend Danica, and maybe that way you'll understand out there that you guys are being taken. And so how are you going to explain all this of what I'm going to show you? Are you going to say it's staged? Or that someone's getting paid to do this?
It's essentially
we hear
her
it all,
exit
right?
interview, like what he did to you.
So first off, let me show you the contract, that scary contract.
It's just like Red Story.
Everybody claims didn't happen or did happen or what's in it. But let me show you a couple things. Just a couple now, because we're keeping some of that secret. Oh, we have to keep you guys on edge. You know that, right? So there we see McKamey Manor release, and we see our little Danica printed.
There's his address, which was so secret he couldn't let the Swedish TV show know.
I'm studying psychology, studying criminal forensic psychology, dealing with murders, and finding out what people's motives and why they want to do stuff. So I think this would be a perfect way to get inside people's minds.
She's being filmed by John Schnitzer.
Yeah.
For the documentary.
Check out how rough the pickup zone is as well. Now, this is where you read and sign the waiver that you can see that she's doing that in the photo. And you also can tell by this little video just
heavily
how
edited.
horrible the experience is starting out. I mean, it's rough on her. She's having a really difficult time with Carol. Oh, I get scared just thinking about it.
I guess I'd feel hungry right now. It is.
All right. Selfie time with Carol.
It's before the show started, right?
I want you to enjoy this laughing you're doing right now.
We're like, we're like at Universal
We gotta get our
Studios.
This is our fix of smiling.
Okay, so Danica is always saying she's going to sue me. Sue me for what? She says, I want my waiver. Well, guess what? There's no law that says I have to give you the waiver. You signed it. You read it. You came to the manor. We didn't make you come here. You chose to come here. So that's just the way it goes. Dead of night, blackout, gates of hell, other extreme haunts, they don't give their waiver out either. But they, just like I do, give you all the time you want to read it and, of course, sign it.
Isn't that so interesting with what is in the document, right?
Just like you did. So this whole I'm going to sue you, take you to court, which I guess he's tried to do before, but the lawyer just laughed at her, knowing that, let's see, she worked here, yeah, and signed the waiver. So they just kind of shoot her out the door. But, you know, let her tell you all about that. And then several pages over, we see Danica's little signature. Seriously.
Okay, put your head down a little bit so I can get a nice picture of your animal.
So this is after.
Send it to my mom.
A little higher up.
Essentially,
So-
what he's trying to show is look at her smiling. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
want everyone to look at her eyes as we watch this. Sorry, continue.
Didn't he say he was going to show the contract signing and?
Yeah, all he did was show a few clips of the contract, and now he's showing.
That's perfect.
Right. Are we supposed to smile?
That's right.
Are we
The ever popular Anthony North. Let's talk about Anthony. He's another one of the folks, like four of them,
Another one
who
of the
tried
actors.
everything they can to cause a lot of hate and discontent.
Who left?
Anthony is one of Danica's most popular people. And if you ask the reason why, they will tell you. So, yes, there's some magic, some chemistry, wink, wink, between Anthony and Danica. But that's not for me to say. No, I wouldn't do that.
So he's hinting towards some kind of romantic thing. He's body shamed her. It's amazing haven't we both been harassed in those manners?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm Anthony. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
You know me.
Are you my favorite?
Oh, I think Anthony absolutely was one of Danica's favorites.
And
We all know that things change in life, and you guys have some big changes in store for you two. So maybe you ought to focus on that instead of all the crazy stuff that you two do consistently and constantly, right? Just an idea.
Are you my favorite?
No.
I always have favorites like at bars and everything.
Definitely not.
And so I don't have a favorite brother.
I don't know who your favorites are.
He's your stalker.
Uh-oh, there we are again, being mean, giving them water, and pretty soon they'll be actually eating food as well. Oh no!
This is his evidence that they were like pampered and really taken care of.
Oh, dude, I don't want cold water. I'll take the warm one.
Because John Snitzer's there filming.
One of our
and
actors
this is their
offering them
post.
fresh homemade cookies. Oh no! Say it's not true.
You want a cookie?
No.
We got real food.
It's real cookie.
We got real food coming up.
Wait.
Listen to this next part about why it's important to keep the mystery alive at McKamey Manor. And let's just see if little Danica agrees with that.
I don't want to tell anybody anything because that ruins it for them.
Exactly. Doesn't she look really stressed out and, oh my goodness, let's take Russ to court because it's such a horrible experience? Oh, wait, what does she say? Oh, it was so neat. Yeah, listen to this. and talk about the difference between this and Knots and Blackout. Talk about that kind of stuff.
It doesn't even compare though.
That's what I
Like
want.
it's not even comparable. Like
That's what
it's just utterly insane. It's so neat.
That's right, sports fans. You heard it from literally the horse's mouth. It's so neat. So I want this to be a good, positive thing for you guys.
Wait, can I know how long I was in there for? Yeah, I want to know my
well,
time.
It's 8 o'clock now.
Oh my God.
Started at 2, roughly.
So like five and
For
a
the
half.
3? 5.5. All right. but
I'll take 5.5.
But I got to say, man, is she stressed out or what? You can tell that this is just the most horrible thing that's ever happened to her. So I can understand why she'd just be, so upset after all these months.
Sat on a couch
I think
6
I get
or
it now.
7
Oh,
people,
okay, yeah, it's
mostly men.
pretty rough.
One director of a documentary with his camera,
right,
and then Russ with his camera. Like, how else are you supposed to act?
right.
And as we get further into this evidence he's showing, in my opinion, I start seeing signs of like, holy fuck, there's some trauma that just happened.
Well, there's something that I'm wondering here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't said why she got. Well, he said why she got fired, but realistically, what did happen, right? Because
right, that's
he
why
didn't just
I'd love
fire
to talk
free
to
help.
her.
He didn't just fire somebody
Something
that
would have
was
had to
free
happen.
help. Something happened.
Mhm.
She saw or said something, right? What caused her to see or say something?
Mhm.
And this tour is prior to that.
Well, again, I know that, and I don't know, maybe somebody somehow got the information to her. I don't know if it's how she started being a so-called hater, but I know that she was very supportive of Mercedes, and trying to get that story kind of out there. And Mercedes had been, based on her testimony, harassed at this point.
Does
for about a
Mercedes
year.
still talk to her?
I don't know. I should reach
Why
out
don't
to
you
Mercedes.
reach out to her and see if she
yeah.
can get us in touch?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
The tarantula, though, not gonna lie, is kind of cool. Like crawling across your face. I've
Oh
never
my
had
God!
that.
I think, I freak out just trying to.
Okay, so in a conversation, somebody says I gotta say though, the tarantula thing was kind of cool. That's almost as if you just came back from a complaint or something you didn't like. Like in the normal conversation, you just don't say. Like she had those beginning words that it's kind of a but.
She's trying to say she liked it. She's trying, again, she's got cameras on her. Maybe she did have a good experience. I don't believe that she did, based on what then happened, based on what happens with many people who sometimes go years until they come out and talk about
she was
that
just
they
in there.
actually didn't have a good time. They were pretty traumatized.
She
right?
was just in there for 5.5 hours.
Exactly.
Her adrenaline
And now
is
she's
still
surrounded.
going.
Her adrenaline's pumping. She's surrounded by cameras. It's just like every exit interview.
Yeah.
You're gonna well, thanks. I had a nice time, and then get the fuck out of there. If you thought 5 minutes ago that you were going to literally die, these thoughts went through your brain, right? And now you're sitting on a couch in the house of the person who put you in that situation, surrounded by the people that held you underwater or did different things to you. Are you going to be an ass and freak out and be like, this was the worst experience ever? Or are you going to put on a happy face and say, I had a great time, you guys did great, until you're the fuck out of that house?
Right.
That's
I think
how
it was
I see
kinda
it.
neat.
I'm so scared of spiders, but that was cool.
So again, not to be redundant, but you can tell how stressed out and upset she really is. I mean, I'm beginning to feel really sorry for her. You know, golly gee, it really must have taken a serious toll on her.
We can do Carol's cooking, not Mother's cooking.
Mother's
right?
cooking was
Oh,
not
you-
that bad.
no.
I heard we got really lucky with that.
You lucked out with
Yeah,
Mother's
you
cook.
did.
You lucked out because the
Yeah.
cook, that normally does Mother's cook, he was gone. Oh, did I mention that we also feed them dinner after this? Oh, that's so horrible, McKamey Manor. Yes, we do.
Oh
my God! Think what you guys have all done in the last 5 hours.
Yeah.
You've lived
This is
more.
like a bucket list.
Online, they say you guys are smiling. Back in.
Yeah, put them in there.
That's another thing.
Uh-oh, there's one.
That's another thing to think about. At this time, the McKamey Manor Facebook community had really grown. And I'm in, I believe it's called McKamey Manor Talk. I'm in one of the Facebook groups, and I've gone through and looked for conversations that were happening around this time, the time of her tour, and then, you know, they had fostered a community, much like the community that we've fostered and grown together with people that we care about. So not only did she just go through this experience, but this person sitting next to her, they've got friends in the community. They've got people that are huge fans of McKamey Manor. Like, it's not easy to just walk away when who knows, maybe a whole year she had spent, you know, becoming friends with these people.
Right.
Looking up to Carol. So many people have stories about Carol being like a mom figure. It's much more complicated than his stupid, snide, sarcastic remarks.
One of those imaginary dogs that you've heard about, the ones that people call the IRS about, saying that we actually don't have dogs and we don't donate to Operation Greyhound Rescue and all that is just totally made up. Uh-oh, close your eyes, quick. Close your eyes. What you're seeing is not a dog. No, it's not. It's not a dog. It's not a dog. It's not a dog. Absolutely.
You got a kisser there.
Oh, you want the cookie. You can't have chocolate.
And here we have Mr. John Schnitzer, the one who's making the movie Haunters, the movie. And he has been here on several occasions. In fact, he's filmed McKamey Manor more than any other haunt in his movie. And isn't that nice that he was here when Danica was here? That's right, more cameras. Sorry, Danica. Okay, so as you can see, Danica is clearly distraught and stressed out. But listen carefully now. She's going to tell you her magical way of getting through McKamey Manor.
I kept singing to myself. Like, I said to like my best friend, like before I went in here, like, I'm just gonna keep singing to myself and keep singing to myself. So like I told you guys, snakes are my weakness. Like, I don't like snakes at all. Like, spiders I can do, like I can do all that, but snakes I don't like. When they brought the snake in, I was just like, oh my god, I just sang to myself.
What were you singing?
Don't say it.
Don't laugh. All right. My best friend and I, when we have a few drinks, we always sing Let It Go from Frozen. And so that's what I was singing to myself, like in the head. I was singing it exactly the way we do in the car when we have our DD. And I was just.
She's disassociating herself from the situation. That is what people do in traumatic events to get through something horrible. So for him to be saying that she wasn't traumatized or anything, she's literally talking about what a person does as they are being abused or traumatized in some way to cope with it.
Singing at the top of my lungs, and that's the only thing that got me through the snake. And then when they were like walking us through through the manor, through the manor maze, like I was just like, oh my god, just let it go.
Ah, there you have it. Now just listen to Danica and take her lead on this. In fact, all of the crazy haters. Now there's only a couple of you, actually. It's like Danica and Anthony and Floor and April. Now, hopefully after watching some of this, maybe some of you out there will kind of understand that maybe they're not quite what you thought they were. Yeah, maybe you're right. So
this is so bizarre to me that it's just maybe because of just what's going on now, right?
Yeah.
Just because of what's going on now, this is just giving me like
eerie. It's eerie.
Yeah, it's not.
It's his response to her is the exact response that he gave to the people who were in the Hulu documentary. He did this exact same thing with you, with Brandon, Melissa, Justin. I think Justin.
It's very unsettling. It's very unsettling and just
creepy.
It creeps me out bad.
Yeah.
Well, listen to Danica and just say it with her. Let it go. Let McKamey Manor go. Let your hate go. Let it all go. You'll feel better in the morning.
Disney's Frozen got you through McKamey Manor? Is that what you're saying?
Disney's Frozen got me through.
And you were right earlier.
The song Let It Go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Got me through.
Now, as always, what do I tell them? Listen up, boys and girls.
Anything else you want to say?
Don't do it.
Don't come. But you're gonna come anyway.
You're not gonna take our advice, just like we didn't take the people's before us.
Just know you're gonna want out immediately.
Now, nobody is made to come to McKamey Manor. They do so because they want to. And in fact, what did I tell you personally, Danica?
This is when I start seeing
Russ told me in my interview.
This was the sissy tour.
He told me, he was like, don't do it. I wouldn't do it if I were you. And guess what? Okay, Russ. If you say so, yeah, you gotta find out yourself.
Now,
but do they listen? No, they don't.
do you now prefer traditional hunts or extreme hunts now? Are you done with extreme hunts now?
Let's find out.
But no other hunts are like this one.
Yeah.
So I could still go to Blackout or any of the other ones because they are not this.
I think
it's not this.
That's right.
Does Russ think he's saying that in a good way?
And we're kind of
Because
proud
I'm
of
not hearing that in a good way at all.
That's right. You tell him right there. Oops. That's right. I'm back.
McKamey Manor. Just say McKamey Manor is, and tell me. Don't think about it.
Indescribable.
Did Danica say undescribable? I think she did.
Like you can't describe it.
Start with the word McKamey Manor.
Okay, we're going to slow it down
Why
and
is he
ask her the
taking all
same
these as,
question
like,
one
compliments?
more time. So for all you folks that weren't paying attention, all you haters out there.
Well, he's taking it as a
one of a kind.
compliment.
It's undescribable. They're saying you literally just put me through an experience that I cannot describe. There's nothing else like this, and he's immediately assuming that they're saying that as it's a good thing.
Because he broke them. He got what he wanted out of them, right? So he assumes that's what they wanted out of it too, was to make Russ happy.
This one's for you.
McKamey Manor is just indescribable. There's no words that can. There's no words. It can't be compared to anything. Can't be described to anything. If you think you can get through like the mazes at Knott's Scary Farm every year, go get through them. But you won't get through this because it's just. There's no words. There's no words. I can't. I'm just babbling.
Babbling? Yeah, I'll buy that.
Russ, how does that make you feel?
Well, I'll tell you, John.
It's makes you feel good because that's what I set out to do. I set out to make something totally unique that you can't find anyplace else. And we're doing this all just for the love of you guys, for the love of the fans.
That's right. That's how mean I am. I do all this put on this $500,000 show just for you. What a horrible guy I am.
Danica's tour was $500,000.
What? Is he talking about like the total? I would believe maybe the total sum of every single prop that he has bought in the past 10 years from before this.
Not $500,000.
But he doesn't use
I
them.
I wouldn't put it to $500,000.
Yeah.
You know, we don't make a single penny on this stuff, so we do this for you guys to give you an experience that I really want you to go back and really have a, like I keep going back to the word positive, but have a really positive,
pay attention
warm
to their faces.
feeling about doing this, something that you're really going to treasure in a really cool, kind of unique way.
How about you, Danica? After
I
all
feel
the
like they're starting
mean,
to feel very
horrible
uncomfortable.
things you said about
Yeah.
me and McKamey Manor, the Greyhound Rescue Society, Carol, trying to sue us, just how do you feel?
I'll definitely treasure
unique.
it.
It's unique.
Yeah.
What?
It's
What did she
unique.
say?
That's not a
So I
compliment.
think that's worth hearing one more time. So tell us again, Danica, how will you feel
I'll
about
definitely
your
treasure it.
experience at
Let's move on,
McKamey
Russ.
Manor?
It's unique.
Yeah. I think it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, no one ever gets to do this. Like, you know, like you have like what, maybe 2 people a weekend?
Yeah.
Like if that. And so that's like, you
And there's
know.
27,000 on the list right now.
Yeah, and so
We
that's
talked
like
about this
150
earlier.
people. Then you have like your backup.
Mhm.
So like maybe, you know, like maybe close to 200 people.
About people
like,
feeling
you know,
special. He tries to
year.
make people feel like
Oh, Danica, you're making me cry now. You poor little misguided child. Hanky, please.
Well, it was a privilege to have you guys here. And I'm looking forward to going out on the.
For somebody that's extremely sarcastic and mocking somebody that
he
had a
really sucks
bad
at it.
experience, he doesn't realize sarcasm coming from other people.
Right.
You can tell by her face
Mhm.
that she is done and does not want to be there and does not want to be doing that interview.
Well, and I think we talked about this earlier, like at the very beginning of this episode, when he was talking to that reporter at Transworld and talking about the waitlist and everything. I think you brought it up, that another good point as to why like people go through this and maybe they have their own traumatizing experience, and then after the fact don't speak up because they're thinking like she just said, there are 27,000 plus people that like are waiting to do this, and I got the chance, and she's still trying to process what the fuck she just did, right? But she knows that it's something that is coveted. It's something that there's a guy here making a movie and a director, and there's 27,000 people, and I just got to do it, so I should feel happy right now, right? Is something wrong with me? You know, she's processing all of it. And again, I'm speaking hypothetically or you know, I'm not saying how she felt because I don't know how.
Hunt tour with you guys in October.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be coming out with you
that'd be
if
so much
that's
fun.
cool, right?
I love that. That'd be so much fun.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that part.
Me too, by golly. I can't wait to have some one-on-one time with Danica.
I'm looking forward to that part. Very
Me
specifically
too.
saying,
As long as there's no
I didn't
cold
like
water.
this.
And you guys want
but
to
I'm
see
looking
someone get
forward to
scared?
that.
Wait till I'm there. 'Cause I'm the biggest baby there is.
Oh.
So I'm a really good audience for those kind of people because
I'll be laughing then.
Yeah, you'd be laughing at me because I freak out.
That is a true statement. I am a great audience because this guy gets really, really scared, and it's quite entertaining.
I'm more
that's for
entertaining than
sure.
you. Yeah.
Anything else you guys have to say?
Oh, what is she gonna say now?
Thanks for the experience.
I know. Thanks, guys.
What? She said, thanks, guys? How can that be? Because we all know it's just absolutely the worst day of her life. I don't
Has
understand.
anybody told him he needs a haircut?
But I want to talk to the people real fast that think they can do this. Like I said, you guys can't do it. Everybody on new reservations, like good luck. Like, I mean, you know, if you can get through it.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're just gonna do it anyways. It doesn't matter.
But don't.
No, don't do it.
She is actually correct there. You really don't want to do this.
Any of you guys have anything to
Right,
say?
so you think she had a great time? Like, that's the thing. He says it's not a tagline. It clearly is a tagline. But then when people say, like, please actually don't do this, why does he think that equates to they had a great time?
Right.
They said, anything else you want to say? And she speaks up and says, yeah, to all those people that are, like, in line behind me to come do this, like, you really don't want to do this. And it's not a joke to her. It's not a joke to him. I've heard so many people say that in their exit interviews, and you can tell they're serious. And Rush just goes, ha ha ha, my tagline.
Yeah.
They're warning people.
Right. Maybe that's why maybe just this is a guess, right? Is that why the tagline is what it is?
Because of the people and not Russ, and he just took it and was like, he
took it as like, oh yeah, no, they're just kind of giving us, they're just giving a tagline. That's all that is.
Mm-hmm. But it started off as like people are literally.
Yeah. So, are you ready to move to the next video? Because this
is it.
No, there was another video. You gave me two.
What?
You gave me also Danica, Portrait of a Hater. This is Haters the movie. Is it the same movie? It's probably the exact same.
It might be the same. Let's check.
Oh, it's her tour.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to watch. I wanted to see
and then it's this movie.
And then show what she went through. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes into this movie. Okay, so I think we watched enough of this at this point. Okay, let me remove this. And then this next one we'll do a lot of skipping around because it goes back.
And we have made, I just want to remind everybody, from what I know about her and what she did to try to help Mercedes, I have a lot of respect for her as a person. For her speaking up, a lot of respect. We do have a general rule that we will not show people's tours if we have not gotten their consent, but we also have a rule that we will show tours for people that became actors.
And she did.
We're going to show part of this tour. She was an actor. But again, we would love to speak with her. And give her the opportunity to share her story if that's something that she's interested in. From what I heard when she left the McKamey Manor world and Facebook, she just wanted to go on with her life. So.
Yourself.
Packages are.
Danica turned into a hater after she was fired from MM as an actor. She became very ugly about myself and the manor. Oh, please, this freeze. No. He just doesn't have music all of a sudden.
That's weird.
Yeah. She attempted numerous times to cause serious problems for all concerned. Yeah, I don't know why there's no volume all of a sudden.
Thank you, haters, for obsessing about McKamey Manor.
Did he spell obsessing right?
These are her impressions directly after the show. So it's going to go back and show some of this stuff. But why don't you just skip until there's volume again?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's a glitch or... Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because what I want to see is some of what she just went through.
Right.
Try there. We don't know if there's volume here. You're going back.
I know. I want to see some of the stuff that said. She will treasure the experience. He puts it in quotes. She's the reason why screening process has changed. He says that every time somebody speaks out against him. This is why we screen people. You see the hood's dripping? Oh, he's spraying her in the face with the...
They're sitting in a kiddie pool filled with, like, brown
dirty water.
I went out.
I went out.
So this is December of 2014.
Bolt cutter screw nose. Smacking her in the face.
You having fun yet?
I went out. Las Vegas. I'm too cold.
Look at me. Look at me.
Do you want to see where you live? Yeah, maybe a little down here too.
No.
Come on.
Fish hooking.
She has some dental work here. You're gonna have to take care of that.
God. It has to hurt. Ugh.
They brought in a real snake. You know,
Real
that
snake.
They definitely went extra because this is for the Hunter. Like,
Right.
John was there filming, so there was, you see more people in makeup, you know, extra things that you don't see in a lot of the other tours.
This is my issue with using real animals in a show, right?
Oh, I have so many issues with
So
it.
one thing with putting a snake on a person's chest, draping it on them, so it's around her neck. That is a large snake around her neck. If it's starting to tighten up around her, either the snake's dying or she's dying, right? And it's not fair to either one.
Yeah. And people can freak out, you know, if they have true fears and hurt these animals.
Well,
We don't want to hear you complain. You understand me? What did happen in here? What did I do?
Oh, wait.
Chill out. Come on.
Is that numb?
Another thing,
Yeah.
I've frequented many immersives and extreme haunts. I've never once had live bugs. I would say that I'm not going to eat put into my mouth.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Right.
I will say, actually, I don't think they have ever tried to get me to eat a live bug, but every now and then I'll freak them out if they have crickets, and I'll just grab a cricket and eat it.
I saw you. Wait, what did you eat in West Virginia?
Crickets and grubs.
Oh, okay, and Mike ate the
He ate a tarantula and a scorpion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be careful because then I learned like shellfish allergy.
Yeah, you have a shellfish allergy.
Apparently, a bunch of the crustaceans. I mean, it makes sense there, even though they're not in the sea. So, I got to watch out now. But I used to, when I would go through and they would show crickets and be like, you're about to eat these, I would grab one and eat one real quick.
Yeah.
And they get all creeped out. And
my brother eats them all the time.
They're good.
He had to, he had to when he was in boot camp. So like he buys like on Amazon, you can like order like seasoned crickets.
But I've had to eat other things, right? And they're not alive. She had real cockroaches in her mouth, right? That were alive. What if one scurries and runs down your throat?
And you choke. Yeah.
You choke, right?
It's just irresponsible. In my opinion.
Yes.
How about another one right here? Yes.
So now they're doing the hair cutting and all that. It's the roughness with their faces and heads.
So that's another thing. And
really
these extreme haunts, do they put their arms tight around your neck?
Yeah.
Do they grip? But they don't shake it, right?
Like,
they don't
rip your face apart.
No.
With their
yeah,
fingers,
that's
like...
not. They get in your bubble for sure and make you uncomfortable and touch your face and put you in uncomfortable positions. But they're not trying to give you neck damage.
Right, we're seeing neck locks and being brought down to the ground.
Right.
Like, we're seeing completely unnecessarily violence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not part of a narrative. It's not part of a show. It's just like, well, now's the time that I get to be extremely rough with you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I will say...
But you know what? It'll be fine, because if for some reason... Russ sees that I'm being too rough, he'll say stop, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
right?
And I do feel that in this video, this was the first time. Have you noticed the actors are kind of playing more of a character than normal?
Yeah, it's because of John Schnitzer.
Right, John was there, so that they were setting it up to be more of a storyline, when usually they just come in and, they are always playing a character. Andrew's never Andrew, you know. But this one looked like there was a possible narrative, a loose narrative to it.
Do you like my friend? Guess what? I'm done, sir.
What's wrong? You want to cry? Cry.
No.
I want you to cry right now.
I can't
Come
cry,
on.
sir.
Why can't you cry? Is it not in your nature?
No.
It's not your choice.
I want you to cry?
So done.
It's not your choice.
No, I'm done.
Quiet.
Big improvement, huh?
I need you to stop. It's a really roll your eyes at me.
Did you just roll your eyes at him?
Relax. You get the real doctor here for her neck?
Las Vegas, I want out.
I'm losing money.
Come on, dunk her in there.
That's the other participant.
He's having the other participant dunk her into the water. Do you see how gently he was doing it too?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if those are real bolt cutters or not. The drill's not real.
You what?
I want out soon.
You want out where?
When people can barely
baby sissy tour. What are you talking
open their eyes and say that they're done,
Right.
She's already broken.
Right.
At this point. I want out.
There is a button.
There's a part that I wanted to hear from the video before, if we have time. I just remembered it.
I can't take it, sir. I'm too cold. I'm too cold.
Where am I?
Look at the wrench.
I feel like we're just seeing the same stuff over and over again at this point. Right? force feeding,
Well,
fish
let's
hooking.
skip ahead to like the middle and
snake.
see where we're at. Skip ahead. Oh, down, breakdown. Okay, right there. His favorite moment.
Okay, I promise you you're done now. I promise you you're done. Okay? No, you're okay now. You're done. I'm not going to make you do anything else. That's it. You're done. You're done. Okay? You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. Okay? I promise. You're done.
It's night and day compared to sitting in the
On the
in the
couch
living
smiling,
room hours later, probably. Right?
I'm sorry. This makes me so fucking mad.
That's just
in what world do you go through an extreme haunt and you need to be talked down from a literal breakdown? Because I mean, yes, people get in those moments. We've heard the panel, like, right, the Scare LA panel where Russell like explains a moment where he just completely, had this life-changing experience. This is not what we're seeing here. What we're seeing here is somebody who literally was just they're going through their trauma.
Yeah,
and you've got Russ with a camera on him, mind you, with a camera on him, being the "you're all done, you're all done," all sweet and gentle, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Schnitzer's there, of course.
All right.
I want Carol.
You want Carol? Okay, come on, let's go get Carol. Carol. Come on. Carol. Okay. Go get Carol, somebody.
Wait, what did she say?
Because Carol.
But then I think she says something else.
You want to listen to it back?
Yes, I really need to hear this. I'm going to turn it loud. Headphone warning.
Come on. Carol. Okay. Go get Carol, somebody. I'm not going to make you do anything else. That's it. You're done. You're done. Okay? You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. Okay? I promise. You're done. All right?
I want Carol.
You want Carol? Okay, come on. Let's go get Carol. Carol. Come on. Carol. Okay.
She's safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's chilling.
Because there's no trust. So from all of the stories that I've heard about the haunts that you've gone through, that Brandon has gone through, there has to be a level of trust with the creator, with the actors, right?
Has to be.
That you give to them.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that her experience has ended and she does not trust the owner and creator of the experience.
That's a fail.
And says, I need Carol. She's safe.
And
you're not safe. These people aren't safe. I need to go be with a safe person.
And before anybody throws this out there, right? Some people being like, well, maybe the owner of these other haunts isn't there, right? Look at in Monster Inside. Mm-hmm. The one of the final scenes is Justin, the creator of Miasma, Justin Brink with his face to Melissa's and to Brandon's face, making them repeat he is in this
exact position, right? And yes, there's some tears. I think Melissa was crying.
But that was hugging. Not decomp.
No, they are hugging him and they are thanking him as they're crying.
Well, the tears were different. The tears were different.
It was
this is traumatized.
Release. This is trauma.
The other one was
an emotional release.
Beautiful story being told and crying because of just taking so much from that story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go get Carol, somebody.
How about maybe get out of her face?
Hi.
She just basically said she doesn't feel safe with you.
You okay?
Here she is. Here she is. Here she is.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Why is the screen black right now?
Here she is. She's okay.
YouTube.
I'm the safety queen.
No. Yeah.
Come on, man. It's okay.
Come on.
let's have a talk.
You make me sick to my stomach.
Weird editing choice to go from that to this.
I came here to
Right.
prove to myself that I could do this.
You can't, can you?
That was the only reason I came.
Well, you were wrong, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You tell Las Vegas I was wrong.
I was wrong, Las Vegas.
That's all he wants. Because people say they
I
can't
was
do
wrong
it.
about coming here.
Can't beat
being
it.
able to conquer this.
So my question is, was this edited chronologically?
No.
Or
no, because you can tell when she's got the towel and all that, that was right before they bring her into the house. Yeah. That's why I said weird editing choice.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's just poor editing that this happened before the towel.
Right, he just wants people to know that she's saying she couldn't do it. Just like Rhett was a sissy and cried when he was trying to
he said the same about me, that I cried.
I know. He puts these two things together and says in the same video, this person had an amazing experience. They loved it. Listen to them say that they couldn't beat it and that it was too hard for them and I traumatized and broke them.
Yeah, like crying just happens. Buddy, I dropped a hot dog once on the ground when I was really hungry. I cried.
Yeah.
Like, same fucking difference as when I was at your haunt and I cried.
Right.
Is this a joke to you?
No, it's not, sir.
You would tell everybody out there in TV land to stay the hell away from here. I don't want to see people here anymore. I'm tired of people challenging us to come here.
Can we skip through some of this?
Tell them
stuff?
right now.
I
It's not
can't
worth it,
stand
guys.
his whole in character thing.
Mm-hmm.
His voice grosses me out. Move the cursor. Yeah, because we already saw a lot of the beginning of this, but there's a point where they start getting interviewed by John. And John starts talking. Yeah, go backwards a little bit where the yellow things came up. Okay. Voice of John. Yeah. But I remember when I first listened, I thought it was interesting some of the stuff that John was saying. So maybe rewind a tad bit more. Like do the 10-second thing. Okay.
You don't got that on desktop.
Oh. There's no volume.
Oh. Are you out of here?
Bye, it was nice meeting you.
Bye.
Thank you for making this a crazy night.
It could have been worse.
And thank you for not making it worse.
It could have been better.
A lot better, right?
He's got it because he gets to come through and not have to do it. Right here.
Okay,
that's fine. That's fine.
That better?
Yeah, thanks.
You don't think us throwing up freaks him out? I bet it does. Someone was gagging when I was throwing up.
That was me. That's always me. I feel awful the whole time. The smells really bother me so much. The gagging. I'd rather not ever be anywhere near Mother's room. It's so horrible.
The pickup wasn't very fun. Are we allowed to
tell me whatever? I'm
they're giving John an interview
now.
Not Russ.
This is just for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to the coffin first, and they put me in the coffin, and I could deal with the cockroaches and stuff. It wasn't fun, but I dealt with it. Just yeah, and that was just the worst part. To where there were times where I could breathe underneath I kept putting my face down so I could breathe. And
good.
So
what?
Did you notice she went straight from cockroaches in the coffin to and then I couldn't breathe. So I had to put Russ cut out part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely heavily
because he doesn't
edited.
want people to know. Yeah.
Right.
I knew
people are gonna hate you for that.
I know, so sorry everybody else that's gonna go in after us, but
it's okay. We have ways around that. There's plenty of things we can do. We got duct tape and all sorts of other things.
Yeah,
we made it really easy on you guys.
Yeah,
that was the thing too. I had to really stress that too.
I can't hear you. What?
Listen to there's still some actors in the room. I can't name who, but between them and then John talking, they're talking about how easy the two of them got it.
Really did go easy on you, and it was because partly I wanted you guys to experience more things, but then we were all kind of
They're getting boring.
It was getting kind of boring because it was like, which is really funny. I never thought I'd look at something who's suffering and go, "This is boring." For us, make it more exciting.
I think your mind begins to shut down and you like begin to block everything out. It's almost like you go into like when you have something like traumatic happen to you, your body goes into almost like a shock to protect itself. And it's like I was in a car accident 4 years ago. 4 years ago tomorrow. That almost killed me and like my two best friends. And for like the first like 2 months or so, I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't tell you anything about that car accident besides I woke up in the hospital. That's it. And so the thing is like you don't remember stuff because your body doesn't like let you. So it's like almost like, I think we got boring because we were still there physically, but mentally it's like our body was just like
you had broken us.
I remember it all.
Where did you go? Like, were your senses dulled at any point, or were you just kind of like?
I was hoping I would dissociate.
I kept singing to myself.
I was really hoping I would. I didn't.
What about you?
I kept singing to myself. Like I said to like my best friend, like before I went in here, like I'm just gonna keep singing to myself and keep singing to myself. So like
kind of different
snakes
when there's more context, right?
Like snakes, I don't like spiders. I can do like I can do all that, but snakes I don't like. When they brought the snake in, I was just like, oh my god, I just sang to myself.
What were you singing?
Don't say it. Don't laugh. All right.
You can skip
my
a
best
little.
friend and I, when we have a few drinks, we sing "Let It Go" coming out of my eyes. Those are real tears. And then they were like, "Be quiet." And then they were like, "Okay, you can scream." So I screamed like in the van because I just had to scream.
Wow.
Yeah, but
anything else you want to say?
Don't do it.
Don't come. But you're gonna come anyway.
You're not gonna take our advice, just like we didn't take the people's before us.
Just know you're gonna want out immediately.
Russ told me in my interview.
This was the sissy tour.
He told me, he was like, "Don't do it. I wouldn't do it if I were you." And guess what? Okay, Russ. If you say so, yeah, you gotta find out yourself.
So now I have to blame myself because I did it.
Now prefer traditional hunts or extreme hunts now? Are you done with extreme hunts now?
But no other hunts are like this one.
Yeah.
So I could still go to Blackout or any of the other ones because they are.
I just want to hear. Wait.
Oh, you wanted to hear that part?
I wanted to see because he cut it before, so it's fine. It's not a big deal.
There's no words. It can't be compared to anything. It can't be described to anything. If you think you can get through like the mazes at Knott's Scary Farm every year, go get through them. But you won't get through this because it's just there's no words. There's no words. I can't. I'm just babbling.
Russ, how does that make you feel?
Makes you feel good because that's what I set out to do. I set out to make something totally unique that you can't find anyplace else. And we're doing this all just for the love of you guys, for the love of the fans.
Sure,
I mean, we're not
like it when you're in there.
We don't make a single penny on this stuff. So we do this for you guys to give you an experience that I really want you to go back and really have a
gaslight.
I keep going back to the word positive, but have a really positive,
look at her just
warm
staring off
feeling
into the
about
camera.
doing this, something that you're really going to treasure in a really cool, kind of unique way.
I'll definitely treasure it.
It's unique.
Yeah. I think it's like one of those
He said
things
the word
where
treasure
it's
first.
like, not everybody ever
Notice that?
no one ever gets to do this. Like, like you have like what, maybe 2 people a weekend?
Yeah.
Like, if that. And so that's like,
There's 27,000 on the list right now.
Yeah, and so that's like 150 people. Then you have like your backup. So like maybe, like maybe close to 200 people, like, a year. And we got picked out of,
It was a privilege to be tortured.
Yeah.
It was a privilege to have you guys here. And I'm looking forward to going out on that haunt tour with you guys in October. I'm gonna be coming out with you if
so
that's
fun.
cool, right?
I love that. That'd be so much fun.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that part.
Me too.
As long as there's no cold water.
And you guys want to see someone getting scared? Wait till I'm there, because I'm the biggest baby there is.
Oh.
I'm a really good audience for those kind of people because
I'll be laughing then.
freak. Yeah, you'd be laughing at me because I freak out.
Yeah, you got the deluxe package, doll.
Yeah, did.
So I'm
And I
looking
have
forward
your
to
Ouija
it.
board too.
Oh, cool.
You're getting the first one.
Oh, right on.
Anything else? Anything else you guys have to say?
Thanks for the experience.
I know, thanks guys. But I want to talk to the people real fast that think they can do this. Like I said, you guys can't do it. Everybody on new reservations, like good luck. Like, I mean, if you can get through it,
they're gonna do it.
yeah, they're just gonna do it anyways. It doesn't matter.
But don't.
No, don't do it.
Any of you guys have anything to say to them?
They're the best.
Well, for one, I have to say I'm always interested in who we get in here. You know, like it's all like we never know exactly what to think about you guys. We really don't. I have to like, and we always have to wonder how rough we can be with you. Like we have to play that out, and every time there's something different that all of us find in ourselves that we can do. Like we find new talents. Aside from that, I think one of the biggest things I would have to say is, as rough as it may seem, we always are like really big on safety. We really are. Like we push to make sure you guys are completely safe. There's no sexual violence, and we try as hard as we can to make sure that you guys don't really get hurt.
No sexual violence.
There's safety. There's safety. Okay, explain to me. Russ always says this too, and there's never an explanation of how they control it. How do they keep things safe? How do they make sure their actors aren't going overboard? There's never explanation, but then the next thing out of their mouth is no sexual stuff. Right? Yeah. He literally is parroting Russ. It's bizarre.
Like, I mean, we rough you up.
You guys will ask what's wrong too.
Exactly.
Just
like,
to make sure.
There's a problem.
Yeah. There's definitely safety. You're totally getting beat up, but in a safe way.
There's no
You're
safe
totally
word.
getting beat up, but in a safe way. So they're trying to say, these two people that just went through are trying to process the fact that they just got the shit beat out of them. And they're sitting on the floor with a documentarian with a video camera and an actor across the room saying, safety's number one. Like, we get rough with you, but like, it's safe.
Totally
and
no sex.
This guy's laughing, being like, yeah, we got completely beat up in a safe way. Like, trying to process, like, what the hell this guy across the room just said.
Right.
Look at him.
And to me, they're saying like, yeah, you did punch and hit me, but then you said,
that
are
it's
you
safe,
okay?
So... Right. Yeah, sorry. Continue.
But like, you do make sure that like our safety is like okay. And like I said, I know there was a couple times where, you know, like I was panicky and you guys would be like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then I would tell you what's wrong. And you'd be like, okay. And then just keep doing whatever you're doing if I was okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
because she's assuming really that safe. They could tell whether she was okay or not.
Right.
How gnarly the stuff is and how much they like, you know, you get your head shoved into things. And
what did you think of the smells?
I actually didn't even really notice smell.
Oh my god.
I don't know why.
I know.
I didn't notice it.
I don't.
You didn't notice it.
I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't.
You're like one of the first people to ever say something like that about the smell.
I couldn't smell anything. I think I was so.
I didn't really notice the smells either.
Put me back in the water. I don't know.
Anything else you want to say?
Man, a few words.
Anthony started the Rejects group?
I love being evil to people.
Is that what that just said?
He was one of them, yeah. He was one of the guys. I believe a guy named Jesse was like the creator.
Okay.
But
let's finish this living room. It's just, to me, this was such a bizarre, never before seen kind of thing where it's like a behind the scenes of, like, he's trying to out them, but he's showing his actors talking, and then we've got John there, and it's a weird circular setup. That's why I said earlier when we were listening to, he was just showing the two of them on the couch, and they're all smiling and stuff. I said, she's in a room surrounded by, like, 7 men, right? Most of them who just have their hands on her.
Let's finish watching.
I gotta get closer for that.
If I could get paid for this job, that would be my dream job.
Meanwhile, you're volunteering.
I know, I'm volunteering. I'm saving dogs and destroying people.
That's my life.
That should be our motto.
Saving dogs and destroying people for the last 15 years.
Yeah,
did you really feel safe when Carol came out to see you?
Yeah, like, I just knew that, like, I mean, I guess, like, being a female and, you know, like, I just look at my mom is, like, my biggest, like, and most, like, powerful, like, person I have in my life. Like, I love her, and she just, no matter what, if I just dropped hair. If I'm sick, like, I just know she's always gonna make me feel better, and so I just looked at her almost as like, oh my god, it's like a mom figure. It's like my mom right there.
But would your mom take her cell phone out and take pictures and laugh while you're crying?
Maybe if I had a valid reason.
That's an interesting thing to hear.
This is fucking horrible.
That's an interesting thing to hear.
Yeah.
Was that John that just said that?
Yeah,
But would your mom take her cell phone? So he's saying that Carol takes her cell phone out and takes pictures and laughs
Well,
at them.
she was crying and laughed. Yeah. That's what that was insinuated as. That's how I heard it.
And she's just like your mom.
Well, she always tells me, she's like, you're so stubborn. Like, she didn't want me to do this. And so, like, I mean, she's probably freaking out right now.
I mean, why did you do this?
Honestly?
Like, honestly.
For one, because people said not to. And so being stubborn, I just wanted to, like, you know, I just wanted to prove that, like, I could do it. Like, not only to myself, but, you know, like, to, like, the people that, like, said so. My stepdad said, she's not even getting the door. They're like, she's not even gonna show up. So I was like, oh man, I'm like, now I gotta, like, now it's like all in for it. And so, I mean, I did it to prove it to myself, to, you know, be like, all right, what's all this talk that everybody's talking about? Like, don't do it. How bad could it really be? And it's bad. It's that bad. And so it's like, you know, everybody's exit videos like, don't do it, guys, don't do it. And it's like, you know, I swear, I thought that was scripted, that you guys would, like, just, like, script that and tell people not to say that, but it's not scripted.
Any last words, Carol?
She's upset.
I'm proud of you guys. You did a really good job. So, are you glad you came, or?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm the same.
Yeah. I just wanted Carol.
She was just like, I'm not going
You are,
nowhere.
you're kind of like the guardian angel.
I was
When
so
you saw
scared of you.
Carol! Something good must be happening.
Did you say that too?
No.
Well, I'm glad you guys are okay. You guys ready to eat?
All righty. Well, there you go. That's Danica's little adventure at McKamey Manor. And before you feel really bad about her, just keep in mind she absolutely begged
I think
and
we're
begged
about
to
to-
get here. She signed the waiver willingly. She knew exactly what was going to happen. In fact, if you watch the talking portion here, you can see how much fun she was having.
Truly horrible things.
She got to meet
Listen to
Anthony,
this. Read
her
that.
future boyfriend.
The
And
same stuff he
also,
says now.
Super excited because John Schnitzer was filming Haunters, the movie, the big documentary that's going to
She
be
was
out.
not under any type of duress.
In fact,
Are you
I'm
fucking
putting
kidding me?
in at the end of her exit video.
It's like, does he put blinders on and he can't see what we see?
So you guys take care.
Right.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, it's Danica. I just got home from McKamey Manor. Oh my gosh.
McKamey Manor again.
You know,
On
it's
the
crazy
captions.
because people, you know, say all the time how, you know, that, oh, I can get through this, and stuff like that. And let me just say, guys, that there is no way that anybody can get through this. Like, it's just so, it's so crazy. It's so intense. Like, it's just, it's not happening, you know. Like, not only am, there's my kitty. She's wondering, why are you so beat up? Not only
Yeah.
is, you know, a mental thing, but it's definitely very, very physical. Like, I didn't expect, like, the physicalness of it whatsoever. Like, I expected more mental than anything.
Maybe because
And
Russ says over and
there
over
is
and over again, it's smoke and
definitely
mirrors, smoke and mirrors. It's mental, it's
So-
mental.
Right.
Obviously, you can see my hair. It's definitely shorter. It's very shorter. My hair is short now, shorter. And I have a few bald spots, I think. I don't know if I can see any on this camera right now. I'm so blind because I didn't put in my contacts. But, yeah, so I just got home. Don't do it. Russ, Carol, y'all are awesome. All the actors, amazing. You guys did a fantastic
And
job.
she
I
was-
would not suggest anybody do this themselves. Like I said, you guys think you can go through it. Yeah, try me, Russ, try me, blah, 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 blah. I'll be the one to get through it. Good luck.
Keep in mind, this is something also that I haven't thought of before.
You know, like, I
That's-
don't know, I have nothing. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go take
It's
a
just
shower
about done.
and get
Yeah,
clean,
this is
try
the
to
end.
get
She just
clean,
said she's
and
gonna
go to
shower.
bed because I am just exhausted. So, bye.
Something I haven't thought about that I'm kind of thinking about now, as far as like the why people become actors or that whole thing, right? After such a traumatic experience. And I know just from the Facebook history that I saw in these Facebook groups, when Danica first became a hater or whatever, I was going through and reading different conversations. She was very good friends with the actor. She became very close with them and was even friends with them after she was labeled a hater and pushed out. And it makes me think about trauma responses, and trauma bonding. And if, in a way, she went through this trauma and then she came out and these people were actors, right? And then she had this kind of instant bond that happened. And I'm wondering if that's kind of a pattern that happens with these experiences.
Could.
I don't know. I mean, you couldn't give any, when you did your stuff, it was just you and Russ.
Well, and my first time that I went through, I didn't do anything. Like literally, when it comes down to it, I didn't leave the front yard, and we didn't even finish that.
Right. It was a much different. Yeah, but I'm wondering, because I've always just been boggled about the chain that happened in San Diego of you do a tour, you want to be an actor, you become friends with the other actors, you are an actor.
Okay, let's look at me with you know, I could see it in some sorts. I mean, I went and worked at a haunt. Now I didn't particularly act, like I was there to film, but I became friends with the crew in that. But I had a very positive experience.
Right.
So it wasn't like any type of trauma bond. And I made very good friendships with the people I was going through with. And, you know, again, I don't want to say that was trauma bonding, but as we went through it, we banded together, and it was each other
life
that
experience.
It was each other that got us as the support to get through room to room and conquer what we needed.
I mean, we bonded during our first paranormal experience we had, right?
Yeah.
I think that really solidified our friendship, and we had a moment where it's like we will never forget that. It's I'm wondering if something like that is maybe behind the reason why some of these contestants go through these tours, experience the trauma, but then still come out and either want to be an actor or be friends with them. And I also wonder if when people go through, they then get love bombed by the actors for a period of time.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're not getting the pushback. Because remember, we're in 2015. It's very clear in this period of McKamey Manor history that he is going through a lot. He's worried about insurance that he can't afford. He's got people that are calling him out for torture. He's on news stations constantly. So, I don't know. It's just a weird, vicious cycle that I'd love. She is one. There are some of the actors that, like, I don't want to ever talk to, right?
I would like to talk to Anthony after seeing this.
I would too. I'd be very interested in talking to Anthony and Danica. So we'll see. I ask our viewers not to reach out to any of these people on your own. If we decide we want to reach out to see if they'd like to come on for an interview, we will handle that ourselves. And I feel so bad. All you down in chat. Hi. I'm sure we had a great conversation via text throughout this.
Okay. And so a lot of these rise and falls will probably be pre-recorded. It's what it is trying to get scheduling down where we can both be there and on camera at the same time has been kind of a struggle. So this way we are able to do a couple episodes and have them and then keep going. So more than likely more than likely the rise and falls are going to be continuing like this going forward, because we do also, and we're going to continue doing the members only and also Loyal to Doyle. And I actually got called back from somebody who was going to do an interview with us that I thought kind of fell through. But it's not who, But it is somebody in the haunt community that is very big, and they actually shot me a text message again this morning.
Oh, your microphone's doing that weird thing.
Can you hear me? Is it better?
Yeah, you sound a little quiet now, but...
So they actually want to set up for later this week from the time that we're recording. So after this ends, we're going to talk. But with that, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed another episode. Hope you were informed and you learned something new. And with that, have a good night.
We'll see you next time.